What made matters worse was that this destructive fishery has been awarded for its sustainable fishing practices for years by the very label that everyone trusted whenever they bought seafood, the MSC blue tick. The problem was, with over 4.5 million commercial fishing vessels at sea, it is a problem governments had practically given up on enforcing. Apparently, though, there is one vigilante organization who are filling this law enforcement void. A volunteer-run group who sail around the world and into harm's way in order to protect marine life and bring ocean criminals to justice. The marine conservation group Sea Shepherd, who have even sunk 13 whaling and illegal fishing ships, and rammed a further 5, all without harming a single person. And by getting up close and personal with the industries that are destroying the ocean, they have made some shocking discoveries. One of the recent discoveries that Sea Shepherd has made is that on the Atlantic French coast up to 10,000 dolphins are being killed every year by bycatch. So this is 10 times more than dolphins being killed in Tahiti, and no one knew about it. This has been going on for at least 30 years because the French government has been very effective in hiding the problem. People love dolphins, and most of them have no idea that when they eat fish, they're actually putting a death sentence on the dolphin population in France. One of the most shocking things that most people don't realize is that the greatest threat to whales and dolphins is commercial fishing. Over 3 loch whales and dolphins are killed every single year as bycatch of industrial fishing. Even the groups that are talking about marine plastic are highly reluctant to talk about what a lot of that plastic is, which is fishing nets and fishing gear. We hear a lot about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and say, oh, isn't it terrible? All our cotton buds and plastic bags are swirling around in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. 46% of it is fishing nets, discarded fishing nets, which are far more dangerous for marine life than our plastic straws. Because, of course, they're designed to kill. Now, this is so crashingly obvious, why aren't we talking about it? Why aren't even the plastics campaigns talking about fishing? Fishing vessels discard a massive amount of ropes and lines, and this was a major problem. Today, even some of the most remote places on Earth were awash with fishing gear. Like Henderson Island in the Pacific Ocean, and Svalbard in the Arctic Circle. In fact, looking closer at some of the whales that washed up in the UK when people discovered fishing gear was the main trash in their stomachs. This was the whale in the room that no one was talking about. Even longline fishing sets enough fishing lines to wrap around the entire planet 500 times every single day. Although there isn't a single fishery in the world that deliberately targets sea turtles, 6 out of 7 species of sea turtle are either threatened or endangered. Not because of climate change, not because of ocean pollution, not because of plastics in the ocean, but because of fishing. But this is an issue that nobody wants to talk about. Again, if this was true, how come we'd never heard about it? All the headlines we'd ever seen focused on plastic straws. A global study estimated a conservative 1,000 sea turtle deaths from plastic per year. However, in the United States alone, 250,000 sea turtles are captured, injured, or killed every year by fishing vessels. If a single sea turtle with a straw in its nose went viral, then why wasn't this front page news? When we go on the websites of leading marine organizations who tackle plastic pollution, we can find pages and pages encouraging people to stop using everything from tea bags to chewing gum. But no mention whatsoever of what to do about fishing gear, that is if they even mentioned it. Instead, plastic straws seem to take up 99% of what these groups are talking about, which becomes even more shocking than the plastic straws only accounted for 0.03% of plastic entering the ocean. This is like trying to save the Amazon rainforest and stop logging by boycotting toothpicks. It is barely a drop in the ocean. If fishing gear is such a huge problem, we should know why plastic organizations aren't talking about it. So, according to the Plastic Pollution Coalition, the main source of plastic in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is microplastics. Well, the latest study actually showed that 46% of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is fishing nets alone, and the majority of the other garbage were other types of fishing gear. So wouldn't that be the majority? But a majority means over 50%, and fishing related garbage in the patch is over 50%. The Plastic Pollution Coalition is the same organization as the Earth Island Institute. These are the same ones who are behind the Dolphin Safe Tuna label, who work with the fishing industry to sell more seafood. No wonder why they don't talk about the leading cause of plastic pollution in many parts of the world. Now, it's entirely right to say that we must use far less plastic. But even if not a single gram of plastic entered the oceans from today onwards, we would still be ripping those ecosystems apart because the biggest issue by far is commercial fishing. It's not just far more damaging than plastic pollution, it's far more damaging than oil pollution from oil spills. So, you all wounds have seen the reality of international organizations. Now be aware of them. Thank you.